Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm back once again at the Bass Hole Tackle Shop here on Bethel Island. I'm with Rob. Rob, you're going to give us a rundown on some new baits that you have, and they're fairly specific to the Delta. Tell us about them, tell us how you fish them, and tell us why we should have some of these in our arsenal.
All right, so again, these baits here, typically these are some of the baits that we're going to be on my platform here, December to the almost end of January. We'll start transitioning depending on the weather, but we'll get started off here. That A-rig is a big time player right now until January. Just locating fish, whether it be striper or whether it be bass. That A-rig, excellent bait right there. I throw it on that 764 or that 710 that Alabama rig special, 200 series reel. I throw braid on my A-rig. Okay,
Straight braid.
Straight braid.
Okay.
We're throwing a wire bait, and those fish don't care about the damn wire bait. And everybody's like, "Oh, you got the fluorocarbon." I've lost so many damn A-rigs on that fluorocarbon that I got done with it. I throw 50-pound braid. I throw oh god, I can't remember the name of their heads. Can't
Guppy
remember.
heads or
no,
something like that?
Oh man, I got them sitting over there, but I can't. I throw a bigger hook. I like it. I throw the 3.3 Kitex as my teasers and the 3.8s as my main hook guys. But 50-pound braid. I go with the black nickel chrome on my A-rigs. I just like overcast days, which we've had here for the last 3 weeks. Haven't seen the sun since Thanksgiving. We have overcast, foggy days. I like that black nickel. It just gives it a little bit more shine in that dirtier water. So again, that A-rig, excellent player right now.
So this is the Picasso, correct?
That is correct. That is the bait ball schoolie rig.
Okay, the bait ball schoolie rig, and this looks like a very, I've been using a lot of the smaller A-rigs. This looks like it's a fairly small rig. You're throwing the 3.2 and 3.8?
Yes.
What size heads are you using on this? And with this particular rig here, and I know you're going to have these on sale, can you switch from maybe a 1/4 ounce to an 1/8 ounce head to throw them on a little lighter gear or something? Talk about how you can adjust this thing.
All right, so how I set mine up, now I'm going to spill the beans on some secrets here, and I don't really want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Whenever you have an old spinnerbait that's fouled up or broken in half that you're throwing away, don't throw that spinnerbait away. Save the blades that are on that spinnerbait.
The blades.
Yep, the blades on that spinnerbait are worth their weight in gold. Do not throw them away. Save them. The reason why I save them, on my top 2 teasers right here, I will sometimes put a willow leaf up on top of there versus a swim bait, and giving it a little bit more flash with my black nickel blades, a chrome willow leaf blade off of an old spinnerbait.
So you're using them for parts?
Yes, I'll use them for parts to dress up my A-rigs. Typically when I rig mine, I will do a 3/8 head as my 2 bottom ones, and like a 1/4 or a 3/16 as my back stinger one.
To balance everything.
To balance it out. My 2 bottom ones are always heavier, just because I feel like it holds it in balance as it's running true. And it might be a 1/4, it might be 3/8, sometimes it's a half if I'm at Clear Lake.
That way they're not running sideways.
It's not rolling or anything like that. My 2 bottom ones are heavier, and my main hookup dude is a bigger hook but a lighter head, right? And then either I have 2 dummies up top where it just screw locks, non-weighted, sometimes weighted if I want to get real deep down like a Shasta and I'm fishing 80 foot deep. But the Delta stuff, I typically don't weight them. It'll either be a willow leaf blade up on top, which Picasso does make those as well too, where you don't have to build it, it's already built on there. Or I will just do a little teaser on there with a screw lock, and it's just sitting right there.
So we got the A-rig. What else you got, Rob?
Okay, let's talk about that jerkbait. We've got 2 examples here. The ITO Shiner, it's a bigger jerkbait from Megabass. Comes with better hooks, in my opinion, than your factory 110s do. I like it. It's a bigger style jerkbait, a little bit heavier, not much, but a little bit. I love this for the Delta. This is the Pro Blue right here. This is kind of my typical color that I throw throughout the year or throughout the next 2 months right there. A great search bait when I'm looking for fish. If I see a school of fish, I'm going to toss this out there. I'm going to see what they are, whether they're striper or largies. They will definitely eat this guy right there. Again, that's the ITO Shiner.
And you're keeping these hooks on straight out of the box?
Yeah, I'll fish those. I like the gauge. The gauge is bigger. The hook's bigger. It's striper friendly, somewhat. and largemouth friendly in my opinion versus the 110s. And then when I do end up swapping them out, I swap them out with the BKKs because they're the same weight.
Is this something, this is, you know, I haven't looked at these because I have so many of them, I haven't bought them. Is this a new bait, or is it, did they change these hooks out? Because these do look stouter.
No, it's not a new bait as far as I know, and I don't know if I'm saying it correct. If it's Ido Shiner, or I call it the ITO Shiner.
Whatever,
yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So if I butchered that, I apologize. But I call them ITO Shiners. I just like them because they're bigger. Again, better hooks on it, better quality. They're $1 more, but you're getting the ready hooks on there for striper and largemouth. And it's just a great search bait. The next one I want to talk about is a little bit stubbier one. I like this one. I like the G-Rat as well. The G-Rat jerkbait, an excellent bait too. But we have the Whiplash Factory, which nobody really talks about yet. This is a Japanese-based company right here. A couple shops are carrying them. I carry quite a few of their products right there. This is their shallow. It's like 1 to 5 foot. Excellent bait right there. Again, it comes with chrome hooks right off the bat. I end up swapping these hooks out right there, so I make sure to upgrade those. Again, I throw those BKK ones. I like this bait because it does a little bit different. It sits in the water column more at a 70-degree angle than anything else like that. When you pause it and rip it, it likes to sit like that. It's just different. The way that it reacts on your rip, it's a little bit different than your average ITO or your 110s or your Lucky Crafts.
You're talking about a 4-inch bait, 4 1/4-inch bait, compared to a 3 1/4-inch bait. Do you find that you always get bigger fish on the bigger baits?
No, not always true. Sometimes they won't even touch this guy. I don't know why, if it's size-wise, what they're feeding on, if they're intimidated by it. And I typically take that middle hook out whenever I'm fishing these triple hook baits. I feel like there's no need to have a third hook. 6 hooks is just fine. You don't need 9 of them. But again, I don't know why, but sometimes when they're not eating that and I have to force feed them, I will catch them on that smaller version, whether it's that one or the G-Rat one. It's just weird like that, whether they're intimidated by it. Stripers, the stripers don't really care. You know, if you're around them striper and they're feeding, I feel like striper are like trout. They just want one thing. They just want to eat. That's it.
What line are you throwing these on? I imagine it's going to be something that has some give. You're not throwing them on braid.
No, I do not throw them on braid. So I'm throwing that 693 693 from iRod or that 702 from iRod, the Genesis series. So 6'9" 3 power or 7'2" power. And I'm typically throwing this one on 15 or 12 pound fluorocarbon, and same with this one. And that's a Seagar Abrazex is what I like.
Okay. And how does that have enough give in it for it's a fluorocarbon line? Does it have enough give in it?
It doesn't really have much give in it, in my opinion. The rod that I'm throwing it on, that 702, has when I throw that 702, I throw 12 pound on there. When I throw that 693, I throw that 15 pound on there.
Okay.
And it's just because how that rod tip is with that bait. I just like it. It's how I've always fished it. It's where I ended up at the end of the time with it, and it's just how it goes.
Okay. What else you got?
We're going to talk about some swim baits here. We have the Decoy swim bait. Now, you're not going to get a lot of bites on this, but typically what I do is I'm searching and finding some fish with that guy, and I might throw this guy 3 or 4 times, maybe 5, 7, a handful of times. I'm going to throw this guy and roll it through there and see if that bigger fish is going to grab this guy. Excellent bait right there. They just came back out. This guy was retired for a long time. I have every color. The trout ones do really well. I like this carp one out here in the river. Something about that orange throat on that bad boy right there. Right out the package. I don't tune this thing out. It's a lighter rod, a lighter bait. I will throw this on that 702 sometimes, or I will throw this on that 723 sometimes. We talk about that top hook bait with that stiffer rod. I really like this one.
Same line?
Same line again. I like it more on a 15 pound fluorocarbon this time of the year when they're really eating it. I'll throw that 17 pound fluorocarbon, again, Seagar Abrazex. But just slow rolling it, and we talk about that real gear ratio. I'm either a 7-1 on that thing or a 6-3 on that guy when I throw it.
So top hook on this, is there a weight in the head?
There is a weight on that, yes.
So you're throwing the jerk baits to find fish. They're probably fishing 4 to 6 feet. Are you when you find them? Are you using this one to catch bigger fish? Are you dropping it down further in the vegetation?
Yes, yes. I'm going to cast this guy out here, and I'm going to let it. I'm going to watch my line when it stops going, comes all the way through. I'm just going to slow roll this thing, and I want him kind of bumping up on everything that I'm fishing right there.
Because it'll come through there. I'm taking pretty good.
It's just like a spinnerbait. It'll go through the toolies. It'll go through everything right here. When I'm fishing the toolies with this guy, looking for that bigger bite, I might be in Frank's track, just burning the toolie wall. Everybody's throwing spinnerbaits, everybody's throwing chatterbaits. It's something different that the fish are keying in on that they're gonna hit because two guys in front of you were just throwing spinnerbaits and you're throwing it. Something different a fish might be keying in on. That's why I like that. It's what makes you stand out from everybody else, get you that bigger bite. Again, a little swim bait. We'll talk about another swim bait right here, the Optimum, the line through right here. Now I don't let this one sink down because it's a treble hook on the bottom, and I'm more burning this guy across grass tops and everything that has holes in it. So different specific techniques, open water, deeper water, grass flats where somebody might be fishing a spinnerbait or a chatterbait, and it's just something different that these fish haven't seen yet where they're going to come out and grab it. And we're not going to get a bunch of fish on this. This one, sometimes you'll catch a bunch of fish on it. You'll catch a bunch of fish on this one, but typically I'm looking for that bigger bite.
And we always talk about guys that are out there and they're catching fish, but they get to the point 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, they want to get a bigger 5-fish sack. Or maybe the guys that are fishing that are new to tournaments and they're getting tired of just weighing in their 5 fish and maybe not cashing a check. I take it from what you're telling me now, these are always good to have, not as a backup, but as a bait. If you're fishing jerk baits and you find fish, maybe having something like this on your deck, so when you find those fish, this is what's going to help you to go from those 2 and 2 1/4 pound fish to maybe 3, 4, 5 pound fish.
Yeah.
If you're fishing a tournament or if you're just trying to pick up a bigger fish. You use them in conjunction with 2 baits.
The main rod I'm gonna be throwing is that jerk bait,
Yeah.
but if I come and I catch 2 or 3 fish, and okay, there's something going on here, there's chances that there's probably a bigger one hanging out with those guys,
Right.
especially this time of the year. This time of the year, you have to find the schools of fish. These fish will huddle up. Just like Bass Pro Shop, you go in there, oh, look at all them bass back there, and there's 20 bass that are all sitting in a corner over there. These fish will do the same thing. Here they have to find structure, where they like to hang out, where they're at. They'll bundle up, they'll sit there. It's crazy. There'll be 100 fish in one spot, right? And a couple of them might eat that guy, and then here comes this guy rolling through, and that 5-pounder goes, yep, that's my dinner. So we talk about swim baits, searching baits, slowing it down baits right here. That jig is always a key player on the Delta here, in my opinion, especially this time of the year. I don't fish it as fast. I more drag it than anything, and I'm fishing this guy on a high tide against the rocks. You're going to lose a lot of them, but you're going to catch some really good fish when they're really feeding on those rocks, keying in on those crawdads. I stick with the green pumpkin brownish color this time of the year. This is the rodent, the 4-inch rodent right there, 3-inch rodent, I'm sorry, a little bit smaller, bite-sized guy. I pair it up, green pumpkin on green pumpkin, and I'm just dragging that guy and flipping it around everywhere. It's no big secret, everybody knows about a jig, but it's an awesome wintertime bait if you just slow it down and you're around those fish with those searcher baits, and you're looking for a better bite, a bigger fish. They love those crawdads, they can't resist them. All right, moving on here, we're gonna talk about some worms real quick here. The Frenzy nail weight, different way to rig your bait up. You can top hook it, you can weedless hook it. I weedless it when I'm out here. And I typically pair it up with the missile baits, the Robo Worm remake with those guys. That's Ed's Orange. I really like this color throughout the whole year. This is just one of my go-to colors right there. Different, everybody's throwing the MM3s, MM2s, the Margarita Mutilators. Just a little bit different.
That's a 5-inch?
That is a 6-inch right
6-inch.
there, Magic Worm. So it's the same as Robo Worms. It's just Missile's take on it. It was their pair up with them. Different colors, different. I like the Ed's Orange. I just like that orange color for some odd reason.
Spinning rod with that?
So yes, we're spinning rod on here. That 713 is what I throw this on. Now this one, again, I will throw this on that 20-pound braid to a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. So, and I don't make a long leader. My leader's 2 foot at the most.
Okay.
That's it. And we're just flipping this guy around and just hopping it back, right? And the next one we talk about is that Zoom trick worm right there. I love the trick worm personally. You get 20 of them in there, more bang for your buck. Awesome bait. come in a million different colors. This is that smoking blue right here. Something about this smoking blue on the river, I like it. Dirty water, up north they like it. I wacky rig it, I frenzy nail weight it, I drop shot it. I will dip the tip in a blue, dark blue sometimes a chartreuse, depending on how dirty the water is right there. So the dip and dies, I will dip that guy. Again, wacky rigging this thing with a little O-ring, little nail weight in the nose of it right there, the frenzy nail weight, or drop shotting it. Again, when I get around fish and I found fish right there and I just want to bunker down on that school of fish, we talk about the fish huddling up in the winter time, this will catch a lot of fish if you find them. If you're in a dead-end cove and you're catching 2 or 3 fish on these jerkbaits as you're rolling through that cove right there in the wintertime, there's more fish there. This will put more fish in the boat. Those bigger swim baits are going to put bigger fish in the boat.
I haven't seen these. What are you doing with these guys?
So last ace right here, this is a swim bait right here, straight tail swim bait, not a boot tail. So it's a straight tail. A couple different ways you can rig it. Shows you on the back of the package between the ball head and stuff like that. I don't fish it like that. I use this bad boy as a trailer for my chatterbaits or my spinnerbaits if I ever am throwing a trailer on a spinnerbait. But a chatterbait, bladed jig. We've got some awesome bladed jigs right now in the shop. Some big bladed jigs right here. And this is a golden shiner model. I went out the other day, was in Sherman, and I was throwing this bad boy with that guy paired up or with the spunk shad. Sometimes I like the spunk shad, sometimes I don't. More than anything, I like this. But I was in Sherman last week, breaking in my new motor, and this bad boy right here was just killing the striper. I mean, it was like every other cast I was catching them on that. That overcast day, that gold blade, that golden shiner paired up with that last ace. I don't like a boot tail on my chatterbaits. I like more a straight tail or pin tail on there, just so they don't counteract with each other. But again, this bladed jig and that last ace, again, good searcher bait for breaking it down, finding those fish, matching up gold shiner on gold shiner.
Well, that pretty much covers it. How about one? You don't have any top waters on here. Do you throw any top? The water temperature's 49 degrees now. Do you throw any top waters, not counting stripers for largemouth bass in the wintertime?
So I don't, and I've witnessed it in the day before Christmas, big break, fishing with my cousin. He's out there throwing a frog. I'm laughing at him. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's in La La Land. 2 seconds later, I hear this bloom, and he's swinging on a 7-8 pounder, and then catches another one 10 minutes after that. I didn't catch any fish all day, and he caught those two, 5 something and a 7 something on a frog. And so I believe it's there. Bobby Barrick will tell you different. He'll say throw that frog all year round. I just don't really get into it. It's not my thing. If it warms up, I'll throw it in January, February. If it warms up a lot, I'll throw that frog and that double buzz bait. But December, no.
If you go out right now and you're throwing any of these baits and you don't get a bite in the first hour, the first 2 hours, don't think it's the bait, don't think it's you. It's just tough out here right now.
It's tough. You have to find, so the winter times are a little bit different on the river here, and everybody gets scared of coming out here to fish because it's tougher, it's hard to find them. It's crazy how you fish out here in the summertime and you run a bank from here to a quarter mile down the road and you catch 100 fish that are from here up to 3 pounders, right? And then you go back to that bank and there's not a sign of life. Where are these fish going? Well, these fish, in my opinion, being out here on the river for this long, they're somewhere and they're huddled up and they're bunkered down. You have to find out where they are. So out of the current, deeper water that doesn't fluctuate in those colder nightfalls and everything like that, they want to be out of there. And these fish are only going to feed once, twice every 2 days.
If you keep grinding at it, you'll go out 4, 5, 6 times and you'll get 1 fish, you'll get skunked, you might get lucky and get 2 or 3 fish one day. And there'll be that one day that when you're there and you're at the right time, right place, and you can have a really good day in the middle of winter. So that's why I fish the middle of winter. We'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. And if you get out there and you catch a fish, send me a report and keep grinding and have fun out there. Good luck.